Exactly! A deranged madman is building an army of psychic death tanks to take over the world, and there's no one who can stop him, except for you and me!
Oh my god! Let's make out!
What?
Those of you that have followed my channel for a while probably know that I am no stranger to cult classic video games. As such, I only felt it right to take a look at this psychological platformer, Psychonauts. Released for the Xbox... No, the Xbox One. No, the other Xbox One. There we go. This title was designed by industry legend Tim Schafer, whose work you may recognize from one of these titles. While this title has garnered fairly high critical acclaim and is largely considered a sleeper title, I personally had little knowledge of this game apart from its existence. So, upon conclusion of this game, what are my thoughts of this Tim Burton-esque platformer? Well, I already know my thoughts considering I just beat it, but I'm sure you're all wondering, so let's get started. This game begins in a summer camp for aspiring psychonauts. The Psychonauts are a top-secret organization dedicated to fighting crime through psychological warfare. Literally. This is where our protagonist Rasputin comes in. Raz here is an adept psychic along with being a circus acrobat. It is his hope to follow his dreams and become part of his childhood heroes. The only problem is that his parents didn't fill out the permission slip, so he has 24 hours until his father shows up and takes him home. Good thing a psychic emergency occurs, which forces Raz to get his training much more quickly than the other students. So, with this newfound knowledge, it's up to Raz to control his powers, unravel a conspiracy, explore people's broken minds, bring the girl, wipe away the debt, and save the princess. I may have made some of that up. This game is a third-person action platformer, and due to the nature of the storyline, it takes place mostly inside people's minds. As such, each level is a reflection of the person's psyche, ranging from a carefree party, to a war-torn battlefield, to a battle of wits, and even a motion sickness-inducing conspiracy theory-riddled brain. Thanks, Psychonauts. I now know that I can add you to the list of games that gave me motion sickness, along with Alan Wake and Duke Nukem 3D. While inside people's mind, you can complete tasks to level up and get even stronger. These tasks range from gathering figments of their imagination, to sorting out their emotional baggage, and even clearing their mental cobwebs. How are these mind puns treating you? But between spelunking in the depths of the human psyche, you can also explore the campgrounds to find hidden arrowheads, take place in a scavenger hunt, and... yeah, that's really it. Overall, there are 9 different brains to explore, which can be revisited at any time. This is especially useful because many areas of certain minds are unreachable until you upgrade your powers. While I did manage to finish this game in around 12 hours, just keep in mind that this title does have a few false endings. And by that I mean more false endings than Return of the King. Now for the reviewing. I found the artistic style of this game to be downright fascinating. It isn't often that I see video games that seem to be inspired by claymation. It's even rarer that I see a design style in games that look downright similar to films by Tim Burton. But due to the wacky and occasionally dark storyline of this game, the aesthetic style lends a large amount of credence to the narrative. But as for the graphics themselves, there is a fair amount of detail put into the character models and a large amount of detail put into the environments. In fact, the diversity between not only the summer camp, but also each individual mind is astounding and creates a very grand experience. The gameplay is fairly smooth for a platformer, but it does have 2 issues worth noting. Now, I'm not sure if this is just because I was playing the Xbox Live Arcade port or if this was an issue in the original copy, but there is a split-second delay when jumping. So, when I pressed the A button, Raz decided that it wasn't in his best interest to jump at the exact moment that would save his life. This really isn't too big of an issue as I very easily became accustomed to the delay, but it is a bit odd to see this issue that has been resolved since platformers of the 80s. The second issue is the camera. This is barely worth noting as it is usually very smooth, which is odd considering many, if not most games from this era had atrocious cameras. However, there were a few instances in which the camera positioned itself behind a wall, which led to me taking damage from enemies. The story, however, is probably the best part about this game. On the surface, it's about a young boy's wish for adventure and to prove his worth despite him being a social outcast. But once you look deeper into the narrative, well, it's still about that. But when combined with a mixture of over-the-top, dark, and subtle humor, this is one adventure that is a blast from start to finish. So if you're interested in this journey into the center of the mind, then you can find this game on Xbox Live and Steam for $10. I mean, hey, this time of year you're probably going to be buying something off Steam anyway. Speaking of which, I should probably actually play some of these games, eh?